step for a Congress looking ahead to a heavy lift in 2012. The Democratic Congressman John Yarmuth of Kentucky is a member of the House Budget Committee. Good morning, Congressman. 60 days buys us a little bit of time, but what makes you confident that we're not going to be right back where we were a few days ago in 60 days' time?
No, I'm very confident we will be exactly in that place 60 days from now. This is a fundamental debate that's been going on for all of 2011, and it will continue through the next election for sure. I mean, this is basically about fundamentally what you do to support people during a very serious economic decline and how you pay for the assistance you provide. That's the debate we've been having, and we'll have it again.
And I know all the focus, or a lot of the focus, has been on the payroll tax cut extension. But another piece of this is unemployment insurance. Now, it's currently 99 weeks unemployment insurance. Republicans have proposed to cut it to 79 weeks by January, 59 weeks by the summer. Obviously, this is going to require a compromise on both sides if we're going to get to a deal. Is that the kind of thing Democrats in the House would be willing to compromise on, or is unemployment insurance that it should stay at 99 weeks an absolute fundamental that's in for you guys?
Well, you know, the key there is really what the trend in the economy is, and as long as there are 4 or 5 people competing for every job that's available, it doesn't make sense to reduce the eligibility time. If that goes down to 2 or 3 jobs for every person, then it might make some sense. But the Republicans also want to make some fundamental structural changes in unemployment that I think the American people would not be very receptive to. Things like requiring a GED program or going back to school for people receiving benefits. And when you're going to tell a 61-year-old steel worker who's just been laid off that he has to go back and get a GED, this isn't really going to work. What the Republicans continue to want to do is characterize all the beneficiaries of government programs as undeserving, kind of slacker 19-year-olds, when in fact, in today's world, they're teachers, they're firefighters, they're police, they're steel workers, they're people who have, through no fault of their own, have fallen prey to this economic downturn. So those things are going to be debated as well, and they're very important components of this debate.
Now, we finally do have conferees to at least theoretically hash this deal out. We've got 5 Democrats, 8 Republicans. Is there, and you've spent time with this, is there common ground here? You said this is just a fundamental disagreement, but at the same time, this is the payroll tax cut extension. We're going to be in 2012 in just a few days. Neither party certainly wants to raise taxes on lots of people this close to an election. Where do you see, if you see it, but where do you see possible compromise so that we move forward beyond this in 60 days' time?
Well, I think the only common ground that is possible is if we kind of revert to many of the practices we had. For instance, with unemployment extensions in tough times, we've never demanded that they be paid for. This has been the tradition of the Congress. So there are some places where we might find, at least in precedent, some common ground. But right now, I'm not sure there's much common ground at all if the Republicans are totally unwilling to ask for more revenue to help pay for these very, very important programs, the payroll tax extension and also the SGR fix for the doctors providing services to Medicare patients. That will expire in 60 days as well, and that requires money to fix.
Very quickly, Congressman, is there, and I know a lot of you have been away, but is there any sense of momentum among Democrats after this payroll tax cut extension? Clearly the president and Democrats won. House Republicans capitulated, voted for the 2-month extension. Is there any sense of momentum that you guys have at the moment?
Here's what I believe is the case. I believe that the Democrats feel that the narrative is much more conducive to our agenda, and the narrative should not change. I think that the Occupy Wall Street movement was a part of this. The playing field is unequal. The game is rigged. There is too much economic imbalance in the country, and also that right now we can't afford dramatic cuts in government spending because that will set back whatever recovery is in motion. So, again, I think think that the storyline is working in our favor. Clearly, the president has found his footing. He's become much stronger on the stump, and he's become much more firm in his convictions. I think all of those things are going to help us as we move forward.
Kentucky Democratic Congressman John Yarmuth, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Chris.